Class 9 English Textbook Lesson 6 My Childhood. My Childhood is an extract from APJ Abdul Kalam's autobiographical novel Wings of Fire. We all know that late APJ Abdul Kalam was a great scientist as well as a great political leader of our nation, India. The word statesman mentioned here refers to a political leader. He became the 11th President of India in the year 2002. He was born into a middle-class Tamil family in the island town of Rameswaram in the erstwhile, that is former, state of Madras. His father, Jainulabdin, possessed wisdom and a true generosity of spirit. His mother, Ashiamma, was a very kind lady. Abdul Kalam says that he inherited honesty and self-discipline from his father, and from his mother he inherited deep kindness and faith in goodness. Kalam mentions that as a child he had indistinguished looks, though he was born to tall parents. He spent his childhood in a fairly large Pakka house on the Mosque Street of Rameswaram. His austere father, austere means simple but strict father, used to avoid all inessential comforts and luxuries. However, he took good care of his children in order that they did not have to suffer in terms of food, medicine, and clothes. And Kalam wants to say that his childhood was a very secure one, both materially and emotionally. Kalam says that he had three very close friends in his childhood. They are Ramanatha Sastri, Arvindan, and Shiv Prakashan. All were Hindu Brahmin, but they never felt any differences amongst themselves, though their religions and upbringing were different. Ramanatha Sastri was the son of Pakshi Lakshmana Sastri, the high priest of the Rameswaram temple, which was later taken over by Ramanatha Sastri. Arvindan had the business of arranging transport for visiting pilgrims, and Shiv Prakashan was a catering contractor for the Southern Railways. Sri Sita Rama Kalyanam ceremony. It is the marriage ceremony of Lord Rama and Sita. It's a very famous festival of South India. Kalam's family used to arrange boats on which the idols were carried to the marriage site situated in the middle of the pond called Ramatirtha. The stories from the Ramayana were the bedtime stories for Kalam and his siblings. Now, let's discuss the incidents that Kalam mentions while telling us about his childhood in this lesson. Number 1. When the Second World War broke out in 1939, Kalam was 8 years old. He remembers the sudden demand for tamarind seeds in the market. At that time, he could not understand the reason behind this, but he used to collect the seeds and sell them in a shop on the Mosque Street and would earn 1 anna a day. His brother-in-law, Jalaluddin, would tell him stories about the war. Later, he himself would read the headlines in the newspaper Dinamani. When India was forced to join the Allied forces, a state of emergency was declared in the country, as a result of which the train halt at the Rameswaram station was suspended. So the newspapers had to be bundled and thrown out from the moving train on the road between Rameswaram and Dhanuskodi. Kalam's cousin Samsuddin distributed newspaper at the time, so he needed a helping hand to catch the newspaper bundles. And Kalam came forward to help his cousin Samsuddin and thus he earned his first wages in life. He felt the surge, that means a strong feeling of pride in this. The second incident is when Kalam was in the 5th standard at Rameshwaram Elementary School. A new teacher came to the school who noticed that Kalam was a Muslim boy, used to sit in the front row next to a Brahmin boy, Ramanatha Sastry. The new teacher could not stomach it. That means he could not bear it. A Hindu priest's son sitting with a Muslim boy. Kalam was asked to shift to the last row of the classroom. But in this incident, Ramanatha Sastry, Kalam's friend, was utterly depressed. After school, when Kalam and Ramanatha Sastry went home, they told this incident to their respective parents. Ramanatha's father, Lakshmana Sastry, ordered the new teacher not to spread the poison of social inequality and communal intolerance in the mind of innocent children. Not only this, but he also asked the teacher either to apologize or quit the school. Finally, the teacher regretted his behavior, and thus Lakshmana Sastri's strong sense of conviction reformed this young teacher. Kalam also mentions his science teacher Siva Subramania Iyer, an orthodox Brahmin with a very conservative wife, as a rebel who always tried his best to break the social barriers between different social groups. He would inspire and encourage Kalam to develop so that he is on par with the highly educated people of the big cities. One day, Siva Subramania Iyer invited Kalam to his home for a meal. His wife was horrified at the idea of a Muslim boy being invited to dine in her ritually pure kitchen. She refused to serve Kalam in her kitchen. Siva Subramania Iyer was not perturbed, nor did he get angry with his wife, but instead he served Kalam with his own hands and sat down beside Kalam to eat his meal. His wife watched them from behind the kitchen door. When Kalam was leaving his house, Siva Subramania Iyer invited him to join him for dinner again the next weekend. But Kalam hesitated. And then Siva Subramania Iyer told him not to get upset, saying that once you decide to change the system, such problems have to be confronted. So, when next time Kalam visited his house, in the next week, Siva Subramania Iyer's wife took him inside her kitchen and served him food with her own hands. In the last part of the lesson, Abdul Kalam narrates that the Second World War was over and India's freedom was imminent. Imminent means which was likely to happen very soon. Indians will build their own India, declared Gandhiji. The whole country was filled with an unprecedented optimism. Unprecedented means which has never been done or known before. And optimism means a feeling that good things will happen. Abdul Kalam asked his father for permission to leave Rameswaram and study at the district headquarters in Ramanathapuram. Kalam's father Jainulabdin told his son that, Abul, I know you have to go away to grow. Grow means to develop and improve particular qualities or skills in an individual. He also added, does the seagull not fly across the sun, alone and without a nest? He quoted Khalil Gibran to his hesitant wife. His wife Ashamma was hesitant because she didn't want to let her son go out of hometown. He said to his wife, your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts. for they have their own thoughts. Thus the lesson comes to an end. This is all about Abdul Kalam's childhood.